NBC 10 News starts now.
It's more than just hockey, right? They're guys struck down the prime of their lives. Forget about the prime of their athletic careers.
This afternoon at 4 p.m., hockey heartbreak. A local hockey star, Johnny Gaudreau, and his brother were both killed by a suspected drunk driver along a South Jersey road. Their deaths have stunned NHL fans across the country and left several local communities in mourning. Good evening. I'm Jacqueline London.
I'm Tracy Davidson. Johnny was considered one of the best, if not the best, American hockey player in the league. His brother was also a pro hockey player who was a member of several minor league teams before returning home to be a youth hockey coach. The brothers were riding their bikes last night in Salem County on County Route 551 in Oldsman Township, and that's when police say they were struck and killed by a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Police arrested the driver of that Jeep, Sean Higgins. He's been charged in the deaths of both brothers. Police say Higgins failed a field sobriety test. The Gaudreau brothers played high school hockey at Gloucester Catholic High School in Gloucester City, Camden County. This family tragedy happened on the day before their sister was getting married. We have team coverage tonight. NBC 10's Yukari Nakayama is following the investigation.
But we begin with NBC 10's Siobhan McGurl talking to people who knew the brother. Siobhan.
Yeah, Jackie, it's such a tragic loss. Most people know Johnny and Maddie for their skills on the ice. But the people we met today, they talked about their hearts, their humility, and how they would always go out of the way to help others. People all day today have been adding to this makeshift memorial. It is clearly a loss that is hitting hard for so many in South Jersey. From the quiet rink at Hollydale Ice Arena to the empty halls of Gloucester Catholic High School, a heaviness hung in the air as people mourned an unspeakable loss. Beloved brothers who gave so much, taken on the eve of their sister's wedding. NHL star Johnny Gaudreau and hockey coach Maddie Gaudreau, just 31 and 29.
It's more than just hockey, right? They're guys struck down the prime of their lives. Forget about the prime of their athletic careers.
Outside Hollydale, it did not take long for a memorial to start growing. Flowers and hockey sticks. This is where the Gaudreaus really grew up and where they fell in love with the game. They have their dad, Guy, to thank. He had them on the ice in diapers.
As soon as he could get a pair of skates that fit them.
Once on the ice, the brothers never got off. Johnny went on to NHL stardom. Hollydale has his pictures all over.
You know, the fame never really changed, John.
Humble, focused on the game and giving back. Same for his brother, Matty. He followed in his dad's footsteps and took up coaching, a role model for so many.
Just really, honestly, really down to earth, really solid people, you know? It's heartbreaking.
The brothers were graduates of Gloucester Catholic High School, where Johnny's jersey is on display. Johnny and Maddie were beloved at GC. Only 2 grades apart, they even got to play for the Rams alongside each other for a time, with their dad behind the bench as coach. Family was everything to them. The Gaudreaus recently hosted their annual golf tournament, raising money to help other kids attend Gloucester Catholic. Principal Thomas Ichabone Jr. released a statement saying Johnny and Matt were incredible hockey players and students, but even more amazing human beings. Their loss will be felt forever by the entire Gloucester Catholic community.
You know, people just know them as hockey players, you know, but it was a really, really tight family. And it's just a horrible day.
In addition to their parents and sisters, Johnny and Maddie both leave behind their wives. Johnny had 2 children, and we just learned that Maddie was expecting a child with his wife in the coming months. The team here at Hollydale tells me they're already looking for ways to honor the brothers. Outside the ice arena, I'm Siobhan McGurl, NBC 10 News. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
It's just gut-wrenching. Siobhan, thank you so much.
And USA Hockey put out a statement saying our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau, whose lives ended way too soon. Words cannot appropriately express the sorrow the hockey community is feeling today. We're also learning more about the series of events that led to their deaths.
And we're learning about the charges the driver is facing. NBC 10's Yukari Nakayama has been following the investigation for us. She is live from Woodstown, Salem County. Yukari?
Yeah, well, Jackie Tracy, like you mentioned, that driver identified as 43-year-old Sean Higgins. And according to a police complaint, officers say that Higgins admitted to drinking between 5 to 6 beers before getting on the road and striking the Gaudreau brothers. Sean Higgins appeared by video in court today to face 2 counts of vehicular homicide charges. He faces a maximum of 10 years in prison for each count. It was around 8:19 p.m. Thursday night on this narrow stretch of rural road near Pennsville and Stumpy Road when state troopers received a call of a crash. According to police, Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau were riding bikes close to a fog lane on the roadway when they were fatally struck by Higgins. A police report says Higgins was trying to drive past 2 cars on the roadway. One of the vehicles, an SUV, merged to the middle of the road to make space for the Gaudreaus. That's when the complaint says Higgins sped up and illegally passed the SUV on the right, striking the bikers. The police report says a trooper noticed Higgins' breath smelled like alcohol. The 43-year-old then allegedly failed a sobriety test. A small memorial now is underway on this roadway.
It's horrible. Yeah, and we're gonna lose a hockey legend, Johnny Hockey.
Wayne Bum made a stop at Pennsville and Stumpy Road to share his condolences. The Gaudreau's father was Bum's coach in high school. This loss is felt deeply. He hopes others think twice before drinking and driving.
If you're drinking, there's Uber. You don't need to drive. What's an extra $20 to go home? Just so sad.
And NBC 10 obtained court records that show Higgins was arrested for a DWI in 2005 in North Carolina. Now, those charges were dismissed when an officer did not show up for court. And currently, Higgins is being held at the Salem County Correctional Facility. His next court date is September 5th. In Salem, New Jersey, Yukari Nakayama, NBC 10 News.
All right, Yukari, thanks. We'll have much more on this tragic story coming up on NBC 10 News at 5. We'll have a look back at Johnny Gaudreau's life and career and the legacy he leaves behind on and off the ice.
To this now, we are following breaking news in North Philadelphia. Minutes ago, Skyforce 10 was over the scene of this fire along North 4th Street. You can see crews dousing a home while flames shot through the roof and thick smoke poured into the sky. It's not yet clear if anyone was hurt. We'll have updates on air and online. Turning now to NBC 10 First Alert weather. It has been a cloudy start to Labor Day weekend. Our crew in East Passyunk did not see any raindrops there. Instead, we did see a lot of people taking advantage of the cooler weather to take a stroll.
An all-important weekend is upon us, and meteorologist Michelle Rotella has your First Alert forecast. Michelle?
Good news. We'll get some sunshine. It won't be like this the entire time. It was cloudy and cool, way cooler today, of course, than what we experienced in our midweek on Wednesday. So I know it was just noticeably different. You can see a lot of low-level stratus clouds across the area. Lots of thick cloud coverage here. Wanted to zoom out to show you just the bigger picture where you can see. Look at this, northeastern Pennsylvania, all of Jersey stretching through Delaware, and most of Maryland where you just have ample clouds. And again, we have an area of low pressure to the south, and it has an east wind that keeps us very cloudy throughout the rest of the evening and into some overnight hours. So taking you for a closer look, we're not tracking any showers at this time. Doesn't mean you couldn't have a spotty shower pop up here or there, but for the most part, things are just cloudy and cool. You do still have this onshore flow, a little bit of a breeze. Looks like it's calmed down from what we did see earlier today. Had some wind speeds over 20 miles per hour. Temperatures right now seeing 76 for Philadelphia, 68 for Allentown, Mount Pocono, a chilly 58 degrees, 73 there for Mount Holly and Atlantic City at 73. And dew points, what a difference here as well. Some low to mid 60s across the area. So again, hour by hour weather does feature maybe a spotty shower or two and just remaining cloudy as we go into those late evening and overnight hours. You know anyone who's going to the Phillies game, you're just looking at cloudy skies, and then by the final out, temperatures in the 60s. We got that full Labor Day forecast coming up in just a few. Ladies,
we'll see you then. The man who pulled off a notorious prison escape was in court today.
It was nearly a year ago that Danilo Cavalcante sparked an intense manhunt in our area. On August 31st last year, Cavalcante crab walked up the wall of a Chester County prison and took off. He was on the run for 13 days, paralyzing several local communities who lived in fear of the alleged murderer on the run. He was finally captured September 13th, 2023. NBC 10's Tim Furlong is live in Westchester with what happened today as Cavalcante faced justice again. Tim.
Yeah, accepted a plea deal. And if he had gone to trial for the charges against him, he could have faced a lot more prison time if convicted than what he got in the plea deal. But everyone seems satisfied. The prosecutor, the judge says it's closure day.
364 days after Danilo Cavalcante first escaped from prison in Chester County, he's now accepted a plea deal for the escape and the various crimes he admits committing while on the run for 13 days.
When he did that back on August the 31st, he paralyzed the entire county of Chester. Kids were being held up from school. People weren't going to the doctors, weren't going to work.
The plea deal puts the Brazilian 35-year-old convicted killer with a fourth-grade education in prison for 15 to 30 years after his life sentence ends. So even if he somehow gets out of the life sentence for the original crimes, he will still be locked up for decades.
He understands, like, I was a convicted murderer and I left the jail, and I understand that scared people, right? I don't think he definitely understands that. So I don't think that's lost on him, no.
You remember how scared folks in the Chadds Ford Kennett Square area were this time last year as Cavalcante was on the run, stealing food, clothes, and a gun from local homes. Police were everywhere, even searching cars at different checkpoints. You probably also remember the feeling of relief back on September 13th when this call went out.
Proud to announce the subject is in custody.
Cavalcante's lawyer believes this 15 to 30-year plea deal is actually favorable to his client, who already isn't technically supposed to ever get out of prison anyway. The prosecutor says this deal spares the county and state from a lengthy, expensive trial, and 15 to 30 years isn't exactly a light sentence.
It's a consequence.
Yeah, Cavalcante barely said anything in court today here through his translator, but the judge told him he's still a young man and it's up to him to find a way to give his own life value from where he is. She also suggested he could mentor younger inmates who are going to get an opportunity at some point to leave prison and possibly go do something good for society and with their own lives. We're going to have much more coming up at 5:30. We're live in Westchester. Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
Mentoring is a good idea. Yeah. Thanks. All right. Thanks, Tim.
The Maryland Supreme Court says the Baltimore court hearing that freed formerly convicted murderer Adnan Syed 2 years ago must be redone. The court ruled that the earlier proceeding violated the rights of the victim's family. The decision upholds a lower court's reinstatement of Syed's murder conviction in 2000, when a jury found him guilty of killing his high school ex-girlfriend in 1999. Syed can remain free as the case heads to a new lower court judge.
Now to other headlines we're following for you on NBC 10 News at 4. A second suspect has now been charged in a mass shooting in Allentown, and police have released new video of the chaotic scene that played out last weekend. It's body cam footage. It was released today. It shows an officer chasing a suspect who appears to have a weapon while running through a parking lot. This was along North 7th Street on Sunday night. Happened a few blocks away from the city's annual Dominican Festival. Police now say 6 people were hurt in the shooting, including one of the gunmen. Police say 2 men were involved in the fight when they pulled out guns and started shooting. And today the DA announced the second arrest, 28-year-old man from Allentown facing charges. Police previously arrested a 21-year-old from the city for his role in the shooting. The DA also says 2 Allentown police officers fired 12 rounds during the incident and that no one was hurt from their gunfire. The investigation is ongoing. Take a look at what happened at North Penn High School today. 50,000 bees removed from the walls. About 10,000 bees were discovered in a classroom on Monday. So the school brought in a beekeeper. They were able to find the queen. The beekeepers told us that the hive was about the size of a large cooler. And they worked to remove the colony today because the building was closed for the holiday weekend.
Now to Decision 2024. Both major party presidential candidates gave interviews in the past 24 hours. Vice President Kamala Harris gave her first sit-down interview since rising to the top of the Democratic ticket. Last night, Harris and her running mate, Tim Walz, sat down with CNN's Dana Bash. Harris answered a wide range of questions, including one about a political issue in Pennsylvania.
Your must-win state of Pennsylvania.
Sure.
Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020, that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking.
Harris also laid out some clear policy ideas, including extending a $6,000 child tax credit to families for the first year of the child's life and a $25,000 first-time homebuyer tax credit. Harris also said she would appoint a Republican to her cabinet. And in just minutes, former President Trump will take the stage at a rally in western Pennsylvania. He is holding an event at an arena in Johnstown. Last night, the former president held a town hall campaign stop in Wisconsin. It was moderated by former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, who endorsed Trump earlier this week. The first question of the event involved in vitro fertilization.
And what we're going to do is, for people that are using IVF, which is fertilization, the government is going to pay for it, or we're going to get or mandate your insurance company to pay for it.
The former president's rally in Johnstown is scheduled to begin at 4:30. For more in-depth coverage and interviews about the 2024 race and all things related to politics, subscribe to our Battleground Politics podcast. Episodes are streaming wherever you get yours.
Starting this Sunday, the Delaware River Port Authority is raising the price that you'll pay to cross the bridge. You have to shell out $6 to cross the Ben Franklin, Walt Whitman, Betsy Ross, and Commodore Barry bridges. The agency says higher toll prices will cover the cost of upkeep and operations for the bridges. It's the first time in 13 years toll prices have increased. And the performances at the Great Allentown Fair begin tonight. Country star Brad Paisley will be the first headliner to perform on the fair grandstand. Other big names include Pentatonics and comedian Jeff Dunham. Weekend will offer rides, games, and food, and feature a number of farming, gardening, and homemaking exhibits. Fair runs through Monday. Lots of things going on, lots of fun stuff to do this Labor Day weekend.
But one of the most popular options remains a trip to the shore. We have team coverage tonight. First Alert meteorologist Michelle Rotella is checking on the holiday weekend forecast. But we begin with NBC 10's Jersey Shore Bureau reporter Ted Greenberg live in Ocean City. Ted.
Well, Jackie and Tracy, it is breezy here on the boardwalk in Ocean City. It is cloudy, but the weather not keeping the crowds away. You can see people there, of course, lined up to get their Manco and Manco pizza. And, you know, business owners here at the shore are hoping for a strong finish to a summer that was good, but not great. The start of summer's last big weekend saw no shortage of people biking, strolling, or running in Wildwood Crest. The beach, though, not a hot spot, with few folks hitting the sand.
It's a little cloudier than what we were hoping, but we hear that the rest of the weekend should be pretty great.
Unfortunately, I have a few vacancies this evening.
That's not typical for Labor Day weekend, says Granada Ocean Resort owner Kathleen Thompson. Normally, it's sold out.
I think the weather is kind of did a number on us at the last minute.
She's offering last-minute incentives to try to fill those unbooked rooms.
I've cut down the rate a little bit. Cut down the minimum. Usually at the holidays, it's like a 3-night minimum. Now we've cut it down to 2.
It was a soft summer. You know, the economy has greatly impacted visitor spending.
In Ocean City, this cool gray weather has not been keeping people off the sand or out of the surf.
I love this kind of weather. Most people don't, basically because it's cool, the sun is not shining.
Kyle Morrison left the sunshine in L.A. behind this Labor Day weekend just to be at the Jersey Shore.
Listen, the California weather, who cares? Because the beaches are nothing compared to this. The best beaches are in New Jersey. They're the best beaches in the world, and Ocean City's our favorites.
I don't know, Tracy and Jackie. I think that guy could be in a tourism commercial here for Ocean City. And of course, tourism officials want you to remember that some of the best weather of the year here at the shore is often in September. Live in Ocean City, I'm Ted Greenberg, NBC 10 News.
Wholeheartedly agree. All right, thanks, Ted. It has been a cloudy day across the area. Not the best beach day, but I think every day is a good beach day as we take a live look at Atlantic City from our camera at the Hard Rock.
Yeah, let's check in with Michelle Rotella for the big weekend, Michelle.
He mentioned a breeze, and there definitely is a breeze today, so it probably feels a little bit cooler, but overall, the sunshine will return, and I think it's going to be a pretty decent holiday weekend. So if you are heading to the shore, just keep that in mind. You will get a great beach day, especially when you look to Saturday. I think you'll have some partly cloudy skies throughout much of the day. Temperatures nearing 80 degrees in Cape May, Avalon 72, Ocean City. You'll have some mid-70s 70s, and you can see that fluctuate a little bit from low to mid 70s all the way up the shoreline. Sunday, you might have a few more clouds, and this is when we'll have that opportunity to see some of those scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm, and then eventually we'll get some clearing going on as we get into Monday. And you'll have another great beach day to look forward to. Temperatures may take a hit a little bit, but overall you'll be in the mid 70s. I will say on Monday, though, once this front clears through, we will be looking at the winds picking right back up across the area, so it could make it feel just a little bit cooler on Monday. Overall, again, like Tracy said, like every day is a great beach day when you're down there. So Cape May right now, this is not stopping plenty of people from being out and about. It is cloudy. Temperature there 73 degrees. Dew point still up there in the upper 60s, so a touch humid, but you can see there is a northeast wind. We do have high pressure that's offshore, as well as we have low pressure to the south of us. So that's why when you're in between two systems, you get a little bit of a breeze that is going on right now. So it feels like temperatures at the AC Marina right around 72, Atlantic City 73, same deal for Wildwood, Philadelphia coming in feeling like 74, 72 for Bluebell. Wanted to look at the chance of rain across the Philadelphia area for the rest of the evening. Very, very minimal if you have any plans for this evening, just a spotty shower. And some good news here. I wanted to bring this into tomorrow morning so you could see we have some breaks in the cloud coverage, and I think some of us are going to see some sunshine for tomorrow. Latest model runs do have an uptick in the rain chances for your Sunday. It did go from 20% now to 40% of our coverage area, but again, we do dry out for Labor Day itself for Monday and Tuesday. But let's talk about Saturday. The approaching cold front will bring the increase in cloud coverage. Late in the evening hours, we'll see those showers, some thunderstorms move across the area. That could linger through your Sunday morning, along with the clouds that may take some time to just get out of here. So here's a closer look so you can time things out. This is like right around 7:30, 8 o'clock, where Berks, Lehigh, Northampton, you'll be the first to see some of these showers, possibly some thunderstorms move across the area. And then as we get into Sunday morning, we could see some rounds of some heavy rainfall. There is the opportunity for those storms to turn severe, a slight risk for severe weather, so a level 2 out of 5, meaning we could have some strong gusty winds locally and the opportunity for some heavy rainfall. So just keep that in mind. Rain chances late on Saturday, lingering into Sunday, but overall Labor Day forecast for our neighborhoods looks fantastic, partly cloudy. Temperatures will be in the 70s. Might have a little bit of a breeze, much like you're feeling right now. A little breezy out there. Commute cast for this evening. Cloudy skies, temperatures in the 70s. A quick look at the 10-day to show you beyond Labor Day, we are going to have fantastic stretch of days. Might have a chance for some showers next Saturday, but overall low humidity and temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s. Ladies?
Michelle, thank you. Legal trouble for a reality TV star.
A dancer who performed with celebrity guests on Dancing with the Stars is arrested. The call that led to him getting taken into custody. That's coming up.
Reliving The Sopranos, fans of the legendary TV show will be very interested to hear about a new series that's on the way, but it's not a reboot or a remake. The details ahead.
And stuck in space, we now know when that troubled Boeing space capsule will return to Earth.
But first, a look at the closing bell on Wall Street. Stocks closed higher to end the week, while the S&P 500 posted its 4th straight winning month.
Sponsored locally by American Heritage Credit Union, celebrating 75 years of giving back.
This is NBC 10 News.
Boeing's Starliner is expected to leave the International Space Station next week, but we know that NASA's decided that the 2 astronauts who entered orbit on the Starliner in June will not be returning on the spacecraft due to thruster issues they encountered on their trip. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams were supposed to only be on a 10-day mission. Instead, they'll have to wait until next year to return to Earth. The Starliner will depart the ISS on September 6th. A professional dancer who performed with celebrity guests on Dancing with the Stars is facing a domestic violence charge.
Artem Shvintsev appeared in 12 seasons of the show Dancing with the Stars. He was arrested in Northern California yesterday after a 911 call reporting domestic violence. He's married to professional wrestler Nikki Bella. However, details about the alleged victim are not being released for privacy reasons. Actress Leah Remini and her husband are filing for divorce after 21 years of marriage. The King of Queens star and her husband, Angelo Pagan, announced their decision on Instagram Thursday. In their post, the two say their decision came after a lot of thought and care, and that they are approaching it with a positive outlook because they know it's what's best.
Oh, please, I didn't come near her.
Yolanda Hadid is getting married. The former reality TV star and her longtime boyfriend, Joseph Gingoli, are engaged. The 60-year-old confirmed the news to People magazine yesterday. Yolanda Hadid is best known for her time on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She also owns a farm in Bucks County. Her fiancé is the CEO of a construction and development company. A new documentary is in the works to mark 25 years since the debut of one of the best television shows of all time.
The Sopranos is once again stepping into the spotlight. The documentary premieres on September 7th on HBO. It's called Wise Guy, David Chase and the Sopranos. Chase is the creator, head writer, and executive producer of the show that critics say sparked the second golden age of television in 1999. Wise Guy tells the story of how The Sopranos began and gives an inside look at the show that went on to win 21 Primetime Emmy Awards and 5 Golden Globes.
I had no idea.
It's a turning point in the fight over the plan to build a Center City arena for the Sixers.
This past week, a long-awaited study on the impact of the arena was finally released. Today, we're getting new reaction from Philadelphia's mayor about that report. That's at 4:30.
And a puppy rescued from quite a predicament. We'll tell you how it became trapped and how it was brought to safety. Buddy. It is a getaway day for a lot of people heading out of town for the long Labor Day holiday weekend. Here's a live look at how traffic is flowing right now at 76 and 676 in Center City. A lot of people who are stuck in traffic right now are headed down the shore. They might be stuck in 42. Here's a live look at Cape May. Rain could be on the way this weekend.
There's room for them on the sand, isn't there? Room to lay your towel out. Let's check in with Michelle Rotella.
You're going to have 2 great beach days, a Saturday and Monday. Monday may be a little breezy, but like we saw people out there today and nothing stops anyone from going down the shore. So yeah, I think a few of the days will be pretty nice. Let's talk about what's ahead, and not just here, but across the country. If you have people coming in from out of town, maybe you're heading out of town, we are tracking this cold front, and that is going to move across the Midwest, and we're going to be seeing these showers approach our area as we head into Saturday night and Sunday morning. So again, Saturday, not the best travel weather here if you do have to head out or someone is coming in. Again, we stay with some showers for the early morning hours here across parts of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. You can even see those showers stretching across the Tennessee Valley, across the South Central as well, down into Dallas and also Brownsville, Texas. You'll be seeing some of those showers too. Pac West looking great across the Rockies. Might start to see a few sprinkles, especially as you take it more into Labor Day itself on Monday. Showers remain stationary across parts of the South Central through Texas, across parts of Florida, and across the Southeast. You look across the Mid-Atlantic and up across the Northeast into New England, and Monday as well looks like a great day. So let's head down the shore to the AC Boardwalk. Cloudy skies there, 72 degrees. You have this east-northeast wind, about 12 miles per hour. And again, clouds, that doesn't stop anyone. That boardwalk is packed. Hour-by-hour forecast might have a chance of a shower here, but overall just cloudy skies, temperatures staying into those low 70s into those overnight hours. And then as we look beyond that for the shorecast for the next few days, across the beaches, temperatures will be warmer on Sunday into those mid-80s, but you have the chance of showers and the possibility for some thunderstorms for Sunday at the beaches and at the shore. But again, your best days are going to be Saturday and Monday. Jackie.
Neighbors in parts of central Pennsylvania are cleaning up after a round of flash flooding that caused a huge sinkhole. A pickup truck ended up in the sinkhole along Route 333 in Juniata County. About 30 feet of the road collapsed. It's not clear if the driver was badly hurt or not.
Police in Upper Darby are still looking for 2 people accused of stealing a car with a 2-month-old inside. Police say the father was sitting in the driver's seat with his 5-year-old and 2-month-old baby in the back seat when the carjackers ambushed him. Investigators tell us the carjackers forced him and the 5-year-old out, but took off, and the baby was still in the car. Police found the car abandoned with a child inside about a half-mile up Westchester Pike.
They went to the police station right across the street. You would have never even thought that something like that would happen. See, that just goes to show you they don't care.
It's a brazen act. Look, we're in front of police headquarters. We're a block and a half from police headquarters and fire headquarters. The brazenness of these two to do that in broad daylight, again, it speaks to the volume of crime that we're seeing across the country.
Police executed a search warrant last night at what they believe is one of the suspects' home. No word yet on any arrests.
Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker is speaking out about the potential new arena for the Sixers. The city released a report Monday about the proposed project's neighborhood impacts in Center City. It found that Market East will face development challenges with or without an arena. The study also claimed people would not be kicked out of their homes in Chinatown as a result. But gentrification could force some businesses to leave. The mayor says her office is still working to gather facts.
This is what I committed to. Return on investment for the city of Philadelphia and the people of the city of Philadelphia. And I mean our entire city of Philadelphia. That is what will be at the foundation and the driving force, all right, of the decision making.
The report was paid for by the Sixers, but the city says the team had no influence on the report.
Well, the countdown is on for Eagles football. 1 week from today, Birds will open their season against the Green Bay Packers. And while the game will be a long plane ride away in Brazil, you can count on us to get you sufficiently pumped up for the game. NBC 10, NBC Sports Philadelphia, and Telemundo 62 are bringing you nonstop Eagles action all next week with special coverage across all 3 stations every day.
And the Birds are going with a new color combination for the game in Brazil that does not include green. Today, the team announced it's wearing black helmets, white jerseys, and black pants for the matchup against the Packers. It's the first time the Eagles will wear this combination, and it brings back the black alternative helmets that debuted in 2022. See, I've been thinking about, okay, I've got to get in my closet and get the green, but maybe not for next Friday.
Well, go
black
black.
Is the theme, right?
Okay.
We want you to join us for a few special Eagle celebrations.
Especially if you can't make it to Brazil, and I don't think any of us
right.
can. Well, maybe John Clark.
Right.
On Wednesday, we're hosting an Eagles season kickoff pep rally at the Comcast Plaza in Center City from 11:30 to 1. Then ahead of the game on Friday, come out to the Birds Take Brazil pregame tailgate. That's at Xfinity Live from 4 till 6. And then at 6, it's time for the Eagles season kickoff watch party at Lincoln Financial Field.
As for the big event, the game, you can watch it next Friday night right here on NBC 10, the official station of the Philadelphia Eagles, or stream it on Peacock. A puppy is back home after it fell down into an 8-foot drain. Take a look at Dodo's his name after he was rescued in Philadelphia's Crescentville section. Dodo's owner says the puppy fell in while he was walking the dogs before bed. He says that drain is normally covered. The owner says he sat with his fiancée for hours trying to figure out how to get the puppy out. He looked online and saw Roto-Rooter could actually help.
The Roto-Rooters, you know, they not only can fix your toilets, but they can save animals too.
We tried to use like a rope to try to see if we can grab them, and that wasn't working. So we had to do an excavation. So that's where the guys came here with the backhoe, and we dug down, and Damien got him out.
I'm in love.
Right.
I mean, sorry, Bradley, but
oh my
I
mean, he couldn't be any cuter. The puppy is only 6 weeks old and doing just fine.
Oh, that's so good.
Really,
that's so good.
Really cute. Asking Dr. Google, a lot of people go online to look up health symptoms.
But new technology may actually allow Google to detect if you're really sick. Really? See how it works coming up. Right now, let's check in with Johnny Archer. He's in the newsroom with a look at what's coming up all new on NBC 10 News at 5. Johnny?
Hey there, Tracy and Jackie. Good Friday to you. Coming up on NBC 10 News at 5, addressing safety for cyclists in Philadelphia. Recent crashes in the city involving bicyclists have people demanding change. We'll show you how Mayor Parker got on a bike herself to ride around the city, as you see right there, and is responding to rising concerns about safety in the streets. And we have our final installment of our NBC 10 investigation into the impacts of forever chemicals. Tonight, NBC 10 investigator Claudia Vargas is walking us through the work being done to get contaminations out of people's drinking water. Those stories and more coming up at 5.
Google is working with an Indian startup company to develop artificial intelligence that can hear signs of sickness.
Google and Salsa Technologies rolled out the bioacoustics healthcare model last week. Google trained the AI model with about 300 million pieces of audio from around the world. The technology can detect early signs of illness based on subtle differences in cough patterns. The goal is to make the AI available in locations where expensive diagnostic hardware is not easily accessible. Well, it's been recognized as one of the best bourbon brands in the world, and it's based right here in Philadelphia.
The company was the shared dream of three friends. Talk about the obstacles they had to overcome to make the bourbon business a reality.
Forbes calls Diggs Boys Bourbon one of the best new bourbons and whiskeys to try now.
The black-owned whiskey was created by a group of friends from Philadelphia. NBC 10's Keith Jones has their story.
What better place to tell the story of three guys who made their own whiskey than a speakeasy here on the Delaware Riverfront? Talking about the Cigar Code right here. It's a bar and lounge. Let's come inside.
Michael, Howard, and Ernest have been frat brothers for decades. During the pandemic,
we said to ourselves, like, oh, we know enough people, we wish we had our own liquor.
A dream was hatched.
At any point, did you guys turn to each other and go like, this is crazy?
So I think when they added me, 'cause I'm a scientist by nature, I'm like, let's not buy it, let's make it.
So these Philly guys got to studying.
Essentially, you're taking sugar, right? Sugar creates alcohol, and you break that down into alcohol, and then you remove all the bad stuff and leave the alcohol in the water.
But they couldn't avoid all the bad stuff.
Coming into this industry in particular, is it harder being a black-owned business?
Absolutely. Yeah. When we were first starting off, a lot of people didn't take us seriously. You know, you typically don't put blacks and whiskey together.
People just don't know that this industry is what it is. I didn't know about it coming out of college because I definitely would have jumped right into it.
And even with us trying to partner with local distilleries and bottlers here in the area, people just, they would not call us back, they would not take us seriously.
They were persistent and needed a catchy name. Look no further than their fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi, co-founded by Watson Diggs. So, they're the Diggs Boys. And I'm belly up to the bar, ready to try their new bourbon.
But you're going to get some caramel, some vanilla on the front part of your palate, and then you're going to get a little bit of those baking spices. So you're going to get that rye, because it is a high rye bourbon, and then it's going to have a smooth, warm, smooth finish.
Oh, I like the bite. That's good.
It's the rye.
This is like 8:30 in the morning, by the way. Lest anyone think. We could be here all day with this.
You catch us on the right day.
For the Diggs Boys, this is clearly a labor of love, one they hope to pass along.
I want to propose a toast to reinventing yourselves and to being bold.
And to fatherhood.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
To the next generation. Keith Jones, NBC 10 News.
All right, I don't even drink that, whiskey, but I'm ready to try.
I know, great story, Keith. And I have a lot of Kappas in my family, so nice to see that connection there. Very cool.
You can find Diggs Boys whiskey at fine wine and good spirits stores across the Philadelphia area and in Camden County.
Well, the Phillies are back at Citizens Bank Park tonight as their crucial series against the Braves continues. Here's a look at Citizens Bank Park, where it should be a comfortable evening for fans, at least when it comes to the temperature. First pitch is 6:40.
Hoping it was as electric as it was last night, because that was awesome.
Yeah, and it's cloudy skies, and it's just temperatures in the 70s. Maybe a sprinkle, but I think it's just cloudy, so you're right. It's a great, nice night for baseball. Maybe just like a sweater, but that would be me. I know people like...
Me too.
You know what I mean? It was by the final out. It's going to be in the 60s, so you definitely need like a little bit of a sweater, I would say. I mean, that's just me again. Storm chances, they do return as we get into late Saturday. Temperatures as well, I will say, for Saturday and Sunday will go back up into the 80s, and the humidity will return, so you will feel that noticeable change once again, but then everything clears out. It is a sunny Labor Day forecast and feeling like fall for a good deal of next week as well. I wanted to pause and take us up up to the Poconos, right? Because lots of people are heading up there as well. The Northeast Extension, Mount Pocono itself is at 59 degrees, cloudy skies, winds coming out of the southeast around 7 miles per hour. The Poconos forecast for the next 4 days. You might be dealing with some cloudy skies, some foggy conditions throughout parts of the day on Saturday. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s. Looks like we see improvements by Sunday, and you'll have sunshine for Monday and Tuesday, but temperatures will be taking a dip as well. You'll have highs in the 60s, but lots of people who like to go to the Poconos, and they like to feel that cooler weather, much like we're feeling right now. It's just a noticeable change compared to earlier this week. You have a little bit of a breeze making a noticeable change here across South Jersey and at the shore. Feels like temperature for Philadelphia, 74, 72 for Bluebell. Wilmington, you feel like 75 degrees and 73 for Dover. Hour by hour weather to show you that you do get some clearing by tomorrow. I think some of us will get some sunshine, and rain chances at this hour have gone up for Sunday. It's because a cold front is going to be moving in across the area. This could produce some heavy rainfall and also the opportunity for some storms, and some of those storms could be severe before we start to get high pressure to clear things out as we get into your Monday. So a closer look at the timing of this. This would be like around 8, 9 o'clock for the Lehigh Valley, Berks County, and then we could see some showers and storms overnight, and then early Sunday morning still have that opportunity for some heavy rainfall. Level 2 out of 5, meaning again 1 or 2 of those storms could turn severe, could have some strong gusty winds, and again that carries over into Sunday. You might have some lingering showers on Sunday, but Labor Day itself, it does look like it's going to be fantastic. So you want to lounge around or maybe head outside, have any plans. Again, you have mostly sunny skies, temperatures right around 79 degrees. Cloudy skies for your runcast for this evening, feeling really nice out there. I'll look at the 10-day to show you that beyond Labor Day, you have fantastic weather as well. Might see some more clouds, it looks like now in the forecast for next Saturday. We'll deal with that then, but for now, looking great into next week. Ladies?
Michelle, thank you. If your child has trouble paying attention in class, doctors may suspect ADHD.
But it may be something else, an eye problem that can cause symptoms similar to ADHD. What you need to know before your children head back to class.
Parents, listen closely. If you get an email or phone call from a teacher concerned about your child's performance in school, you may be concerned they have ADHD, especially if your child is struggling to pay attention.
But one eye doctor says there's a different diagnosis that you should keep in mind. It's one that can cause similar symptoms. NBC's Joseph Almo brings us what you need to know.
Hello, hello. A trip to the doctor's office. The red dots and pop them. Great job. Looks a little different when it's for vision therapy.
Every time you see the diamond, you're going to reach out and pop it with your finger.
So how did mom, Margaret Berry, and daughter Sasha... Are you excited to be here today, or are you a little nervous?
I'm excited.
You're excited? Good. End up with a vision doctor?
She was not progressing at school in the way that she should. We actually hired a math tutor, and they worked on the exact same problem for a year. She would not want to read, even though she loved being read to.
But when ADHD entered the conversation?
There's no way I want to medicate my child unless it's absolutely necessary. There are all these things that to me were just personality quirks. They weren't necessarily related to her eyes, that all of a sudden that lined up, and that's the reason why I thought, I think we should investigate this.
Whoa, can I get a pound? Very, very good work. Enter Dr. Bryce Applebaum. Red light and a white light.
Yep.
A neuro-optometrist based in Bethesda. Next to each other.
On top.
Awesome. He wants to remind parents the symptoms of ADHD aren't exclusive to ADHD. As soon as you see 2 lights, I want you to tell me to stop. ADHD is an incomplete diagnosis, in my opinion, until hidden functional vision problems that cause the exact same symptoms and behaviors are ruled out first. If you can't focus your eyes, you can't focus your mind in the same way that you would otherwise. Is there one ball?
Yes.
And that's what was happening with Sasha. She was diagnosed with what's known as convergence insufficiency, essentially when your eyes aren't working together as a team. If you can't converge your eyes to see a single clear image as this is approaching you, or even within arm's length, how are you supposed to track across the page when you're reading, or write, or be doing desk work without having a really hard time and rubbing your eyes? So, those ADHD-like symptoms? Losing our place with reading, skipping words, skipping lines,
being distracted easily. Those are all clear warning signs that there is a struggling child where vision is preventing them from achieving at their potential.
So what are you trying to do here? Are you just trying to get parents to kind of pump the brakes before going down the ADHD medication route?
I want every single parent to know better so that they can do better, and to really question what a doctor is telling them in terms of a treatment option. We're all told from a young age to keep our eyes on the ball, but we're never taught how. We're teaching Sasha how to do that.
Since being diagnosed with convergence insufficiency, Sasha has started treatment. And unlike an ADHD medication meant to manage symptoms, vision therapy is meant to permanently fix the issue.
First week, it was night and day between the beginning of the week and the end of the week.
Margaret even remembers when her daughter, for the very first time, was able to do something as simple as reading a text message.
And she looked at it and she read it out loud. And I looked at her, I said, "Did you just read that?" And she goes, "I did." And we both, ah! So, I mean,
something that she wasn't able to do.
She was not able to do that the day before. If you have not ruled out a vision component, you absolutely need to do so.
A mother's message.
Bye, thank you so much.
At the start of a new school year, to make sure you're looking.
You will never need glasses this ugly, I promise.
At all options. I'm Joseph Olmo.
So interesting. That's NBC 10 News at 4 o'clock. I'm Jacqueline London. NBC 10 News at 5 with Tracy Davidson and Johnny Archer starts right now.
NBC 10 News starts now.
You know, it's more than just hockey, right? They're guys struck down the prime of their lives. Forget about the prime of their athletic careers.
First at 5, a community in South Jersey in shock and in mourning. NHL star Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matt were struck and killed by an apparent drunk driver. It happened while the brothers were out riding their bikes the night before their sister's wedding. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. I'm Tracy Davidson.
And I'm Johnny Archer. Johnny Gaudreau played for the Columbus Blue Jackets, but has deep roots in South Jersey. The brothers grew up in Carneys Point Township, not far from where the crash happened. It happened around 8:20 last night in Oldmans Township, New Jersey. That's in Salem County. The brothers were riding their bikes north on County Road 555. At the same time, the driver of a Jeep Cherokee was on that same road, was trying to pass two cars in front of him. And in the process, investigators say the car struck both brothers from behind and they died at the scene. Now, that driver has been identified as Sean Higgins from Woodstown, New Jersey. State troopers reported smelling alcohol coming from his car at the scene. Higgins allegedly admitted to drinking 5 to 6 beers prior to the crash. He also failed a sobriety test. He was arrested and charged with 2 counts of second-degree vehicular homicide, and both charges have a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. His next court date is scheduled for Thursday. Now, the brothers, they have deep roots in South Jersey. This loss hitting so many there. We've seen people at the Hollydale Ice Arena in Sewell all day visiting, adding a memorial there where Johnny and Maddie played. It's where the brothers got their start. Their dad taught them how to play hockey at Hollydale, and they never forgot their roots. Johnny and Maddie would both go back to host clinics and mentor younger players. Maddie even returned as a coach.
Just really, honestly, really down to earth, really solid people, you know? It's heartbreaking. You know, people just know them as hockey players, you know? But it was a really, really tight family. And it's just a horrible day.
Johnny and Maddie were grads of Gloucester Catholic High School. The school called this an unspeakable loss. The Philadelphia Flyers released a statement discussing the brothers' continued effort to give back to the Philadelphia, New Jersey community. The organization said in part, quote, Johnny and Matthew were and always will be beloved and cherished members of the Flyers community and entire hockey world. And many know Johnny because of his ability to play hockey, and he had a skill that many don't. But Johnny shared that skill with the community. And NBC 10's Neil Fisher joins us live from the newsroom with more on Johnny's career and on the ice and how he used his skills to impact others' lives.
And good evening. Johnny Gaudreau was a superstar. He received numerous accolades during his hockey career. He also used his stardom to inspire younger generations. He was a leader and led by example.
Gaudreau's still out there, and here he comes again. Drops it off for Monahan. Back to Gaudreau, the shot, score!
Johnny Gaudreau in. Nice move around Hainsey. Gaudreau, wrap around, score!
Before Johnny Gaudreau was carving up the ice in NHL arenas in front of thousands of fans, he was a kid having fun, playing hockey in front of friends and family in their community.
I lived around the rink growing up. My dad was always at the rink, working, so I was always at the rink. I just loved it, loved the sport, everything about it, so I was pretty fortunate to have a rink when I was growing up.
Hockey brought Gaudreau to Boston College. It was there that the kid from South Jersey was recognized as a top college player in the country and nicknamed Johnny Hockey.
The 2014 Hobey Baker Memorial Award winner is Johnny Gaudreau.
In 2011, the Calgary Flames selected Gaudreau in the 4th round of the NHL entry draft. But Johnny wasn't aware he'd been drafted.
I didn't think I was going to get drafted, so I kind of just stayed at home and played in like a local hockey tournament at my dad's rink, and was on the ice, and my mom just started screaming in the stands, and I'm just like, so stop screaming, like what are you screaming for? And she ran down, gave me a big hug, and I heard that I was drafted to Calgary. And
Gaudreau began an 11-year career in the NHL at just 20 years old. He spent 9 years in Calgary and 2 in Columbus with the Blue Jackets. He scored 243 goals and had 500 assists in 763 games. In 2017, Gaudreau received the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy, which recognizes the player to exhibit the best type of sportsmanship combined with a high standard of playing ability. And it was in 2017 that Johnny met Sean Greavy, the founder of the 43 Oak Foundation.
Johnny was big into doing charity events. He always showed up for the community, which I think was really special.
The 43 Oak Foundation provides educational development through hockey for underprivileged athletes. Johnny didn't just show up to support, he participated in the events and led by example.
After the game, he didn't run off the ice. He stayed on the ice and he talked to every player from our foundation.
The founder of the 43 Oak Foundation, Sean Greavy, told me that Johnny Gaudreau was one of, if not the most humble superstar athletes that he has ever met, and that Johnny impacted many young lives during his time volunteering. Reporting live in the newsroom, Neil Fisher, NBC 10 News.
Just a huge, huge loss, not only to the hockey world, but also to the community. All right, Neil, thank you. And NBC 10 will continue to follow the latest developments in this case as the community mourns the loss of Johnny and Matt. Stay with us on air and online for details as they come into our newsroom. Tracy.
And this tragic crash comes as Philadelphia faces concerns about the safety of cyclists on city streets. Mayor Sherelle Parker held a moment of silence to remember the Gaudreau brothers earlier today. Her administration also addressed people's concerns and calls for increased safety for cyclists. NBC 10's Lauren Make reports.
One of the things that bicyclists have been advocating for are protected bike lanes so riders are separated from traffic. The city is now addressing that and other issues, but changes are not immediate.
Where's my helmet?
Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker today joining bicyclists for a ride around City Hall as her administration promises efforts to make streets safer.
We clearly need to reduce fatal and serious injury crashes in every neighborhood across Philadelphia.
The Parker administration today responding to demands from a petition circulated after the death of a doctor hit and killed while riding her bike in Rittenhouse Square. Today, the managing director responding to each of the demands, including bike lanes protected by concrete barriers.
Otis, led by Mike Carroll and his team, has developed proposals they are discussing with City Council, the coalition, and most importantly, members of our communities to increase safety on the Spruce and Pine Street bike lanes.
The next steps, though, do involve some community conversation and prompted some frustration in the crowd from those who are looking for more immediate change.
We intend to replace the no parking signage with no stopping signage along the Spruce and Pine corridor. This replacement process requires community engagement, which will happen simultaneously with the community.
Mayor Parker back at the mic, acknowledging the pushback and imploring them to give the process and her a chance.
It's important that we ensure that they have their voices heard, and that's why, even if you've had meetings in the past, I just want to say this for the record, give your mayor a chance. Give your man a chance, okay?
Teacher David Talone is among those looking for some change and safer streets.
I think we have a lot of work to do. It's really unsafe.
He's hoping for action soon.
I ride this bike every day to work, and I'm scared for my life most days. In terms of this, it's a dialogue. We're getting started, but we need to see concrete action.
The managing director today mentioned working with City Council. Now, they have been on a break for the summer, but meetings start up again next week. In Center City, I'm Lauren Make, NBC 10 News.
Now let's look at your first alert forecast. Very important forecast for this holiday weekend as we take a live look along Broad Street from our camera at the Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be doing stuff for the Labor Day holiday. Yeah. And NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Brittany Ship has our forecast for that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good looking forecast. Not totally clean the 3 days, but we're going to help you plan around it so you don't have to rework a lot of your plans. So here's a closer look at the satellite radar shot right now. Of course, we do have clouds around. Overall, we are mainly dry. We do have some unsettled weather out to the west of us that is going to start to affect our weather as we go into the weekend. So for the rest of tonight, let's look at the futurecast here. There will be some pop-up showers closer to Avalon, over Atlantic City. These are relatively light. Same thing closer to the Allentown region. And this goes until about 5:30 in the morning. These are very isolated, not a whole lot of rain. But as we go through the day, you notice it is mainly dry on your Saturday until we get to about 7 p.m. And then you do have light showers and rain moving into Reading and Allentown, some heavier downpours by 9:30. But this is mainly confined to Reading and also the Allentown region. Everywhere else, especially along the shore, should be dry. So tomorrow's a great shore day. As we get into Sunday, it gets a little bit more challenging, both for most of Delaware, parts of South Jersey here, and right along that shoreline. You notice by Sunday morning, you have some heavy downpours. We will time the rest of this out, go over your Poconos forecast, your shorecast. All that's coming up in just a bit.
All right, Brittany. We're learning more about a mass shooting in Allentown today. The district attorney announced today 2 arrests in the case, and we're seeing new body camera footage from police. The video shows an officer chasing a suspect who appears to have a weapon while running through a parking lot along North 7th Street on Sunday night. This happened a few blocks away from the city's annual Dominican Festival. Investigators say they have charged a 21-year-old suspect and a 28-year-old suspect. In total, 6 people were hurt during the shooting, including one of the suspected gunmen. The DA also says that 2 Allentown police officers fired 12 rounds during the incident and that no one was hurt from their gunfire. The investigation is ongoing. Well, it was an escape that sent several communities in our region into high alert.
And it's been almost a year to the day that Danilo Cavalcante escaped from the Chester County prison, leading police on a multi-county manhunt for 2 weeks. And today, Cavalcante returned to court for a day of closure. We'll have the latest from the courtroom.
Plus, scammers are getting more creative, trying to get your information, the new tricks that you need to be aware of.
Happening now for Decision 2024, former President Trump is back in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. He is holding a rally at an arena in Johnstown. His campaign says he will use the event to promise voters lower energy costs. Both Trump and Kamala Harris have been focused on Pennsylvania and its 19 electoral votes that are up for grabs in the election. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris gave her first sit-down interview since rising to the top of the Democratic ticket. Last night, Harris and her running mate, Tim Walz, sat down with CNN's Dana Bash, I should say. Harris answered a wide range of questions, including what she would do on day one.
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you, first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class.
Harris also said she would appoint a Republican to her cabinet, and she laid out policy ideas on child tax credits and first-time home buyer tax credits as well.
But many are still questioning how a Harris administration will look differently from a Biden administration. NBC 10's Lauren Make spoke to Kristen Welker from Meet the Press about those questions today.
She was asked about some of her perceived flip-flops. For example, during 2020, when she was running in the Democratic primary, she said that she supported a ban on fracking, decriminalizing the border, single-payer health care. She has now come out and said she opposes all of that. So she was pressed on why voters should trust her this time. And look, she made the point that from the moment that she became vice president to Joe Biden, she basically started to, and she said did her research and now holds these positions. She made it very clear. Her argument is her values have not changed, but that, yes, she has shifted on some of these key issues. But I do think there are a number of issues that remain, untouched.
Kristen will dive deeper into those issues on Meet the Press this Sunday at 10:30 right here on NBC 10. Now, a lot of people are taking trips this Labor Day holiday weekend, but these days you don't have to get away to have a good time.
Yeah, apparently one of the hottest tickets in town doesn't require you to travel at all. We're talking about day passes, or daycations, as they like to say, that offers access to all sorts of amenities. NBC's Sam Brock has more.
You've no doubt heard of a staycation. But what is a daycation?
You can book amenities at hotels and only go for the day, so you don't have to pay for the room.
The leisure option is really starting to pick up steam.
How would you define this concept to people?
Yeah, I think it's reinventing the way we think about hotels. So you're not staying overnight, but you can use all the amenities, things like pools, cabanas, spa, fitness, wellness, even the rooms, just for the day.
According to a recent survey, 60% of travelers were willing to pay for day passes at a 5-star hotel in order to use its amenities without actually staying overnight. Resort Pass pioneered the idea about 8 years ago, but the company's CEO, Michael Wolf, says its popularity has skyrocketed in the last couple of years. With around 1,600 partner hotels in 250 cities, and 7 out of 10 packages, from pools to spas, are under $65.
So Miami is actually our biggest market. Phoenix is an incredibly big market. New York, Orlando, Hawaii.
But even in pricey cities like New York, we found some day passers atop the Virgin Hotel pool deck digging the deal.
How much did you guys pay for this?
We paid $80 each for a day bed, which is really rare in the city. I mean, I've been to other pools where they charge like $250 for a day bed.
At the Virgin Hotel, the options range.
So you can book one of the loungers, which are single. You can book a day bed. And we do have another option, which is our cabana.
But one thing is clear. On a random Tuesday, the pool is packed.
If you want to work from the pool, if family, everybody can take advantage of this.
They definitely are. From Brooklyn, where the Arlo Williamsburg offers rooftop poolside service, to the Arizona Biltmore, which has water slides, the Ritz-Carlton Miami and its heated pool, and the stunning Fairmont Orchid in Hawaii. All of these places, the face of hoteling in the future.
Where do you see this in 5 years?
We're truly just getting started. We're just at the beginning stages of what that means for the hospitality industry.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I just looked, though. Resort Pass doesn't have Philadelphia yet. But I bet you Philadelphia hotels have day passes.
Yeah, we'll catch on here.
Oh,
we'll catch on here, yeah.
Something to consider. I like a good resort. I mean, I like to chill out by the pool. Rooftop pool sounds good to me, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are looking for plans going into this weekend. And the weather is going to cooperate for most of the weekend. There are some trouble issues, and we're going to help you plan around it. Number one, we do have those rain chances that are going to affect us, especially tomorrow. But as we get into Monday, things are looking good. We also have some issues as we head into Sunday as well. We do have those seasonal temperatures returning to us Saturday and Sunday. Today was definitely much cooler than our seasonable average. And then we'll have a fall-like feel as we get into next week. So 24-hour temperature change map shows how much colder it is. Today, we're down at almost 10 degrees in Wilmington, Westchester, down 8 degrees in Reading, 6 degrees cooler in Bluebell. And our temperatures across the region in the low 70s if you're closer to Millville, 75 in Philadelphia, 69 in Allentown. We're at 73 in Reading, 72 degrees in Wildwood currently. Looking at the rest of tonight, the clouds are going to lock in for us. By 8 o'clock, you're at 71 degrees here, so still a pretty nice evening ahead for most locations. We are nice and dry on our radar shot. We wind out the picture. Yesterday, we had a lot of activity coming out of Washington, Baltimore, down towards Virginia. Now things have quieted down for us. But as we head into the rest of the weekend, we're timing this out. So you have a few isolated pop-up showers possible tomorrow, but tomorrow is definitely going to be a mainly dry day. As we get into Saturday night, you will notice another downpour near the Lehigh Valley area, but by Sunday, this is when we start to have more interesting things developing along this shoreline. Closer to Delaware, up towards Avalon and Atlantic City, you have a better chance of seeing some midday downpours, and then this could linger right along that shoreline at least until 5 o'clock. So the more challenging day down the shore is going to be Sunday, but you should see some periods of dryness in there. But again, you do have to watch out for those showers. Monday from start to finish is going to be a fantastic day. Even those clouds will start to clear out, so we'll see a nice round of sunshine, and then temperatures will actually be a little bit cooler as we get into Monday as well. Heading into tomorrow for Philadelphia, temperatures at 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Wind speeds out of the southwest, 7 miles per hour. So a nice setup for us. Mid 80s in our suburbs, upper 70s down the shore, mix of sun and clouds. Now our shorecast is going to show us Sunday with those chances for showers, some isolated thunderstorms. But once again, as we head into Monday, beautiful conditions, upper 70s and really nice, a mix of sun and clouds. If you're going to head towards the Poconos, you have 77 on Sunday. Monday's a bit cooler there, so keep that in mind. Monday into Tuesday, you're only in the 60s. Our dew point forecast is great. Starting Monday, we're down to the 50s and 40s, which means it'll have that fall-like feel. And as we look at our 10-day forecast, it does show below average temperatures throughout most of next week. There is going to be a chance next Saturday of a few isolated showers. We'll send it back to you, Tracy.
All right, Brittany. Communities concerned over contamination. The dangerous chemicals have seeped into water in places around the Delaware Valley.
So what will it take to remove forever chemicals from the water supply? NBC 10 investigator Claudia Vargas shows us the changes being made to deal with the contamination.
And a spellbinding treat from Betty Crocker is taking some inspiration from the upcoming movie musical Wicked. And it includes a special ingredient that's creating magic in the kitchen. We'll explain what that's all about coming up next.
One of the doctors charged in connection with Matthew Perry's death appeared in court today. Dr. Mark Chavez is expected to plead guilty to conspiring to distribute the surgical anesthetic ketamine. The 54-year-old reached a plea agreement with prosecutors earlier this month. Dr. Chavez is cooperating with prosecutors as they go after their main targets, including a doctor and a ketamine dealer, each accused of illegally selling ketamine to Perry a month before his deadly overdose. They both pleaded not guilty. Boeing's Starliner is expected to leave the International Space Station next week, but without the astronauts. NASA decided the 2 astronauts who entered orbit on the spacecraft in June will not be returning on it because of thruster issues they encountered on the trip. Now, the 2 astronauts were supposed to be on a 10-day mission. Instead, they will have to wait until next year to return to Earth. The Starliner will depart the ISS on September 6th. And the film adaptation of the beloved Broadway musical Wicked will be in theaters in less than 3 months. And Betty Crocker is stirring up a little magic with some special sweet treats. They're offering these special cake mixes to make cookie dough pops and cupcakes. The cake mixes change color as the ingredients are added to reveal one of 2 of the 4 main 2 colors for the main characters of the movie. Green for Elphaba.
Yeah,
and pink for Glenda. Both are vanilla flavored, but you won't know the color of the mixes until you start mixing everything together. Now, Wicked.
The magic.
Yeah, that's the magic there. All right, Wicked tells the untold story of Witches of Oz. It stars Emmy, Grammy, and Tony-winning singer and actress Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba. And global superstar Ariana Grande as the popular Glenda. Wicked hits theaters on November 22nd, with Wicked Part 2 is scheduled for the same time next year. That is a fantastic Broadway. I love that Broadway. All right, scammers are resorting to new tactics to trick you into sending them personal information, but there are ways to spot real messages from fakes created by scammers. How you can spot the difference.
This is NBC 10 News.
It has been almost a year to the day since convicted killer Danilo Cavalcante escaped from a prison in Chester County. Today, he returned to court to plead guilty to charges in connection to his getaway and 2-week manhunt evading police. Cavalcante broke out while waiting to be transferred to state prison to serve a life sentence for killing his ex-girlfriend.
And today he was sentenced to an additional 15 to 30 years in prison. In addition to that life sentence that you just mentioned, NBC 10's Tim Furlong joins us live from outside the courtroom in Westchester with the details. Tim?
Yeah, Johnny, remember this time last year, we didn't know it yet, but we were getting ready to go into the craziest couple of weeks of news we had in a long time, this manhunt. Well, today in this courthouse here behind me in Westchester, Danilo Cavalcante agreed to take responsibility for his crimes, which means if he ever somehow wiggles out of that life sentence for murdering his girlfriend, he would then have to still stay in prison for decades.
There was never an I didn't do it. I mean, what's the defense that it wasn't me that escaped?
Danilo Cavalcante's attorney says his client hasn't denied escaping from prison 1 year ago tomorrow, and today in court, the 35-year-old Brazilian convicted killer formally pleaded guilty to the escape and his various burglaries along the way. He will get 15 to 30 years in prison after his life sentence ends, which in theory shouldn't ever end.
I've seen some lifers get out in the past, so never say never.
The deputy attorney general says even if he were to ever get out of his lifelong murder sentence, he would still have to stay in prison for decades. He says he is satisfied with this plea deal, the judge even saying it should give county residents some degree of closure.
This plea balances the needs of justice for Chester County, but also takes into account the expense of the trial, bringing him to Chester County from Western Pennsylvania for several times during the course of the hearing.
Cavalcante answered the judge's questions through a translator, but chose not to address the court at sentencing.
Proud to announce the subject is in custody.
You remember the relief when he was finally caught last September 13th, but you also remember the massive law enforcement response and how scared folks were in Chester County and Western Delco as we all wondered where he would be spotted next. He survived those very hot days and nights on stream water and stolen food until he was finally captured. Cavalcante has never apologized, even today when given the opportunity.
He understands, like, I was a convicted murderer and I left the jail, and I understand that scared people, right? I don't think he definitely understands that. So I don't think that's lost on him.
Yeah, Cavalcante's lawyer, by the way, is not a public defender, but today he wouldn't tell us who is funding his client's defense, who's paying his legal bills. He also says he knew where Cavalcante was planning to go when he escaped prison last year. He says Cavalcante did, in fact, have a plan, but he wouldn't give us that information either. We're live in Westchester. Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
All right, Tim, thanks for that update. What happened in the courtroom today? Appreciate it. All right, let's go back to our first alert forecast as we take a live look over Philadelphia, and we see cloudy skies today.
Everybody's got their plans. Everybody wants to know what the weather's going to be. Meteorologist Brittany Ship's here with the answers.
Yes, let's kick you off with your shorecast so you can do some planning here for the next 3 days. Here's a closer look at Saturday. Saturday's a pretty good day. We have a mix of sun and clouds, temperatures in the upper 70s. It is going to be Sunday that you're going to run into a few issues. You'll see more clouds. Potentially for our Delaware beaches, you won't see as much rainfall, but if you're closer to the shore, there will be some periods of rain, some isolated thunderstorms. So just stay weather aware as you go through the day. I'm not saying cancel all of your plans, but there are some chances there for rain on Sunday. But there should be some dry periods in there as well. Going into Monday, it is dry from start to finish, a mix of sun and clouds, upper 70s on Monday. Gorgeous conditions not only down the shore, but across the entire region. Our satellite radar shot shows we have lots of clouds right now, but as we widen out the picture here, you can see there is more unsettled weather off to the west and the south of us. Going into the rest of this evening, potentially some isolated showers near Atlantic City, south of Millville as well. This is 10, 11 o'clock. By 6 a.m., you're waking up to some spotty showers, but overall Saturday is going to be your drier day. Now, as we get into Saturday night, closer to Reading, Allentown, Lehigh Valley, you could see some heavier downpours, and this will clear up as we go into Sunday for that area. But heading into Sunday, it's going to be parts of Delaware here, South Jersey, right along the shore to start Sunday morning that are going to be dealing with those on and off rain chances. This is straight through the morning. You can see it's fairly heavy. As we look at our temperatures down the shore, currently we're in the low 70s, a really nice evening in Philadelphia at 75 degrees. Currently, we'll talk more about what else is in store for the weekend coming up.
All right, thank you, Brittany. The NBC 10 investigators have been taking a deep dive into how forever chemicals are impacting our region's drinking water.
Investigative reporter Claudia Vargas takes a look at what it will take to remove the contamination for hundreds of water systems across our region. She goes to Delaware to see the work being done there.
We run the water through the first vessel, which we call that the cleaner.
Jay Geyer is the water utility manager for the Newcastle, Delaware Municipal Services Commission. He oversees the city's filter, which removes PFAS, or so-called forever chemicals, from drinking water before it goes into residents' homes. In 2014, Newcastle realized it had a problem.
We did testing and found that we did have the contamination in our wells.
The level of contamination was 2,300 parts per trillion. For context, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency said earlier this year that water systems should have 4 parts per trillion at most. Forever chemicals are man-made. They're used for making firefighter foam, nonstick cookware, and stain-resistant clothing. They don't break down easily in the environment, hence the forever reference.
The state wanted us to shut down until we could get appropriate treatment in, and we did.
The city purchased the filter later that year. It seemed to be working. But in 2019, some of those chemicals were found in people's drinking water.
At that time, changed the way we operated the system, that we did increased monitoring now.
The water utility says it has barely seen any levels of forever chemicals in its water since. Geyer has advice for other water systems dealing with or about to deal with contamination.
Spend the money to do additional testing and understand your water and all the constituents in it, because the carbon's going to pull out a lot of other things that you don't anticipate.
Adam Redding has been doing a lot of that testing for Newcastle. He is an environmental engineer for Calgon, one of the forever chemicals filter manufacturers.
We've been running this study here, looking at multiple types of activated carbon, different sizes of activated carbon, and then also looking at different ion exchange resins.
Redding is helping Newcastle perfect the removal formula.
This system is most likely to move to a pretty novel approach, which is a dual media system.
That means 2 different types of filters working in one system. It's more expensive, but may last longer. And that's the thing about the treatment. These are forever chemicals, so the treatment can be forever.
It has to be overseen, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day without any upsets in the treatment, with a power outage, etc.
Excellent job, everybody.
Jerry Kaufman runs the University of Delaware Water Resources Center.
And you're measuring the depth at what feet?
The center has been testing for chemicals throughout the state and looking at solutions.
The long-term answer is to find alternative sources of water.
He believes that's digging deeper into the earth.
You could drill wells a quarter mile, 500 to 1,000 feet deep. Now, they're expensive, but the water down there is really pure.
Kaufman estimates the cost to be about $500,000. Compared to what water systems are currently paying for their filters, that may be a bargain.
That water is pure and it'll remain pure.
Because PFAS wouldn't have been able to get through that clay layer?
That's right. Yeah, or any other contaminant.
Now, the price that he estimates is the digging of a well, but the pumping of a well so deep will likely come with a higher expense. Perhaps not as much water can be pulled, so there may be other costs involved.
And Claudia, has digging new wells been a part of the plan for other towns?
So when we looked at Emmaus in Berks County, they had considered that, but their engineer told them that it wasn't feasible for them. So we know that towns are looking at these other options and just seeing what works best for them.
Right. Yeah. Wow, thanks for your reporting all this week. It's really been an eye-opener on the issue of forever chemicals across our region. If you missed any of Claudia's stories this week, you can find them on our website, NBC10.com/investigators. She went into neighborhoods across our area, from the Pennsylvania suburbs to South Jersey to Delaware, to see how it's impacting people's lives. Still to come, Team USA racking up the medals at the Paralympics Games. We'll tell you where we stand after 2 days of competition.
And the price to cross from New Jersey into Pennsylvania is going up for the first time in 13 years. Increases are impacting 4 major bridges in our region. NBC 10's Matt DeLucia explains what you need to know and where all this extra money is going.
Field Focus, presented by Toyota.
Hey everybody, I am John Clark with your Field Focus, and the Phillies are riding some momentum right now. They are going to go for their 6th win in their last 7 games tonight, and Ranger Suarez is on the mound at home against the Braves. You got to like his chances. Let's take a look at Ranger. He returned from injury. He missed about a month, and on Saturday, he only gave up 1 earned run in the win in Kansas City against the Royals. His ERA is now 2.82. That's one of the best ERAs in baseball if he qualified. And in his 2 starts this year against the Braves, yeah, he got roughed up, gave up some earned runs, but he has 7 strikeouts in each of those outings. The Phillies right now have a lot of momentum after that comeback win against the Braves last night. Phillies are getting good at bats, and the pitching, for the most part, has been good. I'm John Clark with your Field Focus.
Good game last night. Hope for the same tonight. And the Phillies aren't the only thing going on at the sports complex in South Philly. Usher is performing at the Wells Fargo Center as part of his Past, Present, Future tour. Doors for the concert open at 7. It's sold out, so plan accordingly if you're driving around that area later tonight.
And the Birds, they are taking over Brazil. Eagles fans are beginning to make their international journey to Brazil. For the first time ever, the NFL is having a matchup in South America.
That's right. It's going to turn Brazil green, eagle green.
All right. Philly Sports Trips helped 70 fans put together their historic trip to Sao Paulo. Starting with their departure from Philadelphia International Airport today, the Eagles will take on the Green Bay Packers on Friday, September 6th. And NBC 10, NBC Sports Philadelphia, and Telemundo 62 are bringing you nonstop Eagles action all next week. On Wednesday, come out to the pep rally at the Comcast Plaza in Center City from 11:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. Then on Friday, we've got the Birds Take Brazil pregame tailgate at Xfinity Live from 4 to 6. And then it's time for the Eagles season kickoff watch party at Lincoln Financial Field. And NBC Sports Philadelphia's John Clark will be traveling to Brazil, and you can watch his live report starting on Thursday. And remember, you can watch the game right here on NBC 10 on September 6th, the official station of the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's also streaming on Peacock as well.
Now let's talk Paralympics. Underway in Paris. Currently, Team USA has 7 medals, 1 gold, 6 silver. China leads the field with 25 total medals.
Now, the International Paralympic Committee does not give out prize money for winning medals, but several countries do reward their athletes with medal bonuses. And here's how much athletes on Team USA are set to earn if they make it to the podium. Athletes who win gold are awarded $38,000, silver medalists $23,000, and then $15,000 for bronze. The largest payday comes from Singapore. Listen to this. The country gives out $380,000 if you win a gold medal. That's a nice little payday there.
Yeah.
And don't miss the Paralympics in prime time tonight at 9 o'clock right here on NBC 10. All of the competitions are also streaming live on Peacock as well. All right, the holiday weekend is here and the roads are packed with drivers, some heading home from work, but most are getting away for the Labor Day weekend. And this is still considered a peak time to travel, according to AAA. If you are still looking to hit the road tonight, AAA suggests heading out after 7 p.m. to avoid all that traffic. And it's the end of an era come Sunday morning. For the first time in 13 years, tolls are going up on 4 area bridges that cross the Delaware River, which had us asking some questions like, where's all that money going?
And will another price hike happen anytime soon? Here's NBC 10's Matt DeLucia with the answers.
Who loves spending money to cross a bridge? Yeah, thought so. Well, now it's going to cost an extra $1 to cross 4 bridges. The Walt, the Ben, the Betsy, and Barry. Yeah, not a good day for those names. But here's the deal. Instead of paying $5 to cross, it will now cost you $6.
Everything's costing more. Inflation's hurting everybody.
And the Delaware River Port Authority, which takes care of these bridges, says it could have been worse.
The bridge tolls were originally supposed to go to $6.50, and that is something that would have happened had the board not acted to reduce it.
So how long has it been since the tolls went up here? 13 years, and $6 is a long way from 25 cents back in 1926. In fact, it didn't even cost more than $1 until the early 90s.
What we had been following for a number of years, dating back to the mid-2000s, is the Consumer Price Index pricing.
So where is all of this money going?
$800 million in projects over the next 5 years. These bridges are not young. The Ben Franklin Bridge is 98 years old. You don't have to do much other than cross the Commodore Barry Bridge to know that it needs to be redecked, and you look around, it needs to be painted, it's rusty.
Oh, how much could paint really cost? Apparently $87 million. So that extra Washington out of our pockets is supposed to keep the Benjamin looking
So I think we'll see incrementally over years about $50 to $60 million in additional revenue that will allow us then to do these capital projects.
$6 every day, though, it is not just spare change for a lot of drivers, but I guess it could be worse. Driving into New York City costs more than double.
Yes, it's much cheaper to cross here.
Still, I had to ask. So are you already discussing when the next increase is coming, or is this going to be it?
No, I think this will be it. Look, this agency has been run well for a long time, and that's why we've been able to put it off for so long until now. It's been 13 years. That's somewhat unheard of.
So here's wishing for another 13 years, but we'll cross that bridge later. Hope that explains it. Matt DeLucia, NBC 10 News.
Well played, Matt DeLucia.
Very nice, Matt.
Fun fact, he was talking about all the work that needs to be done on the bridges. My dad was an electrician, and he had to do a lot of electrical work on the bridges at the very top, so he'd have to walk up the side and get to the top of the Ben Franklin Bridge there. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Wow, that
scary
is cool.
stuff, though.
Yeah, for sure. Got to post a picture.
Well, Adam,
if he took any.
Yeah, I don't think he took any pictures up
I
there.
guess
He's
that
more
wasn't
concerned
top
about
of
his safety than the view.
Only I think about pictures a lot.
No.
Okay, I told him myself. Let's talk about your weather over the next 3 days. We do have some rain chances that are going to be heading our way. We don't want you to cancel any plans. This is not a total washout, but there are some chances along the way. So let's break down what you can expect. We also are going to see seasonable temperatures Saturday, Sunday. Today was much cooler than where we should be for this time of year. These cooler temperatures will return once again going into next week as well. So highs around the region today, 77 in Philadelphia, Allentown 69, 76 degrees in Reading, mid-70s here in Wilmington, Atlantic City at 76. And our average for this time of year is in the low to mid-80s. So we were definitely well below that, and we cooled down from this time yesterday. We're 9 degrees cooler in Wilmington, 8 degrees cooler in Reading. Temperatures right now, 75 degrees in Philadelphia, 69 in Allentown, low 70s in Reading. You have 72 degrees in Millville, 72 in Wildwood. Temperatures are comfortable in Rehoboth Beach at 73. And for the rest of tonight, we're going to hold steady in the low 70s with lots of clouds here. We are going to see a mainly dry day for most tomorrow, and it's going to be Sunday that has the best chance of those showers and thunderstorms, and then nice and dry again on Monday. So dry right now on our radar shot. We do have some unsettled weather here way to the south of us. So again, we have a nice dry day on tap for your Saturday. There could be some little tiny pop-up showers, but nothing to worry about. Saturday night, it looks like Berks County, Lehigh Valley could see something popping up around 10 or 11 p.m. After that, as we head into Sunday morning, it looks like the places that are probably going to see rain first would be closer to Avalon up towards Atlantic City here. This is at 1 o'clock. This could linger right along that shoreline through 5 p.m. So again, not a total washout, but there are some rain chances over the afternoon. By Sunday night, it looks like everything clears up. In fact, a lot of our clouds will continue to clear, and that's going to set us up for a gorgeous Monday. So Labor Day, the actual holiday, is going to look really good. Temperature-wise, tomorrow you're in the mid-80s for Philadelphia, mostly cloudy skies, so a little warmer than what we saw today. Down the shore, tomorrow looks great, upper 70s, a little warmer on Sunday, better chance down the shore for us to see isolated thunderstorms versus our Delaware beaches. And then Monday, we look great, upper 70s, mix of sun and clouds. Poconos will stay in the 70s Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a little cooler here, back down to the 60s. Our dew point forecast shows a fall-like feel starts for us on Monday, carries over through the entire week. And our 10-day forecast shows a gorgeous Labor Day, 79 degrees. We stay in the 70s for at least 3 days with fall-like conditions expected. Tracy.
Up next, from your phone to your email to QR codes, nothing is off limits to scammers. How you can protect yourself from falling victim to a scam. The Federal Trade Commission says email, phone calls, and text messages are the most commonly reported contact method used by scammers in 2023.
And now the U.S. Postal Inspection Service is warning consumers of new scamming methods. NBC's Susan Hogan has more on how you can protect yourself from being targeted.
So newer scams are coming out. So we're seeing smishing, which is using text messages.
A perfect example of smishing is this text message claiming to be from the United States Postal Service, saying they are unable to deliver the package unless the address is confirmed in the link.
That link does not go to the Postal Service, and the message isn't from the Postal Service. But once you go there and you provide your name, your address, and personal information, now those scammers have that information.
scammers are also leaving voicemails claiming to be a government employee.
You have one new voice message.
Phishing is using spoofed phone numbers to leave voicemails on phones. So they'll take a number from a legitimate government entity and leave a voicemail with that. The number that they're telling you to call back on is not the government agency. That is the scammers.
Instead of calling the number left in the voicemail, search for the main phone number for the department or agency and call that one instead. And QR codes that were popular during the pandemic are still popping up everywhere as an easier alternative to search for business and information online. But now scammers are finding a way to use them against you.
And the newest one is phishing, which is using QR codes. So QR codes that are put out in public or hidden, so that people scan them, and instead of taking them to the website that they believe they're going to, it's taking them to the scammer's website.
Those websites can appear to be from trusted financial institutions that prompt you to provide your personal information, such as your PIN and social security number. So be careful. But if you fall victim to identity theft, it's so important to act as quickly as possible. So start by reporting the fraud to the Federal Trade Commission. You can do that by going to identitytheft.gov. Also, place a fraud alert or security freeze on your credit reports and review the information currently on there to make sure there's no suspicious activity. And if your personal financial information has been compromised, contact financial institutions and your lenders that you work with to alert them.
And a good rule of thumb, if an unknown sender messages you a link, don't click it.
And if there are any spelling errors in that message, that's another red flag as well. So take a few seconds to do a double take and check of those details there. And that'll do it for NBC 10 News at 5. I'm Johnny Archer.
I'm Tracy Davidson. NBC 10 News at 6 starts right now.
NBC 10 News starts now.
A tragedy in the sports world. A local hockey star and his brother leave behind a lasting legacy after being hit and killed by a suspected drunk driver. Plus, the new details tonight of the accused. We remember Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matt on a day that was scheduled to be their sister's wedding.
You know, people just know them as hockey players, you know. But it was a really, really tight family. And it's just a horrible day, you know.
We have been following this tragic story all day. I'm Jacqueline London.
And I'm Fred Shropshire. We're learning more information tonight after the death of South Jersey native and Columbus Blue Jacket star Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matt. They were both killed last night while riding their bikes.
And this is Sean Higgins. He appeared in court this afternoon and is facing second-degree vehicular murder charges in connection with the death of both brothers. The criminal complaint says Higgins told a state trooper he drank 5 or 6 beers before getting behind the wheel last night in Salem County. New Jersey State Police say Higgins tried to pass 2 different cars in front of him on Pennsville-Auburn Road last night when he crashed into Johnny Gaudreau and his brother, who were on their bikes. This happened in Oldman Township, not far from where the brothers grew up.
Johnny Gaudreau played 11 seasons in the NHL and also for Team USA. His nickname was Johnny Hockey. Both brothers played for Boston College and shined on and off the ice. NBC 10's Siobhan McGurl joins us live from Gloucester County tonight, a spot where the Gaudreau brothers spent a lot of time and leave behind a lasting legacy. Siobhan.
Fred, it's difficult to put that legacy into words. They both had such an impact here. You know, people all over know the name Gaudreau, but they never let that fame get to their heads. Instead, the people we talked to today, they talked about Johnny and Maddie's big hearts, their humility. This is where it really all started. It's where the boys grew up. It's where their dad used to put Skittles down on the ice to try to get them to skate as young kids. All day, we have seen people stop here to pay their respects.
Outside Hollydale Ice Arena, a growing memorial. Inside, a team at a loss for words.
It's heartbreaking.
Devastated to learn 2 local legends, brothers who gave so much to this community, were taken on the eve of their sister's wedding.
They were more than just great hockey players, they were great people.
This is where Johnny and Maddie Gaudreau got their start, all thanks to their beloved dad.
Mr. Gaudreau taught his sons how to play at this rink, and they grew up here.
The brothers never forgot their roots. Both would come back to host clinics and mentor younger players.
kids could say, look what they've done. I can do that too.
Johnny's pictures are hanging on the walls. Maddie returned as a coach.
He was a younger guy, he was a younger coach, so it was really easy to connect with him, and like I said, he's a great guy.
It's a big loss to hockey, but particularly this rink. You know, I mean, the Gaudreaus, you know, they built the place.
A big loss, too, for the community at Gloucester Catholic High School. Johnny and Maddie were both grads and incredibly loved members of the Ram family. Johnny's jersey is on display. The brothers even got to play alongside each other for a time with their dad behind the bench as coach. And just like Hollydale, they never stopped giving back. Every year hosting a golf tournament to raise money so other kids can attend GC. The entire family ran that tournament because more than anything, family is at the center of who the Gaudreaus are.
You know, people just know them as hockey players, you know, but it was a really, really tight family. And it's just a horrible day.
In addition to their parents and sisters, Johnny and Maddie both leave behind their wives. Johnny had 2 children, and we've learned that Maddie and his wife, they were expecting a child in the coming months. The team here at Hollydale tells me they're already looking for ways to honor the brothers, make sure their legacy lives on. Outside Hollydale Ice Arena, I'm Siobhan McGurl, NBC 10 News. We'll send it back to you.
So much heartbreak and grief, Siobhan. Thank you for that. Hockey players, NHL teams, and even politicians are paying their respects to the South Jersey hockey family. The Gaudreau brothers have deep roots with the Flyers organization dating back to their youth. Today, the Flyers released a statement which says, in part, throughout all of their success in the hockey world, both continue to give back to our community. Johnny and Matthew, as well as the entire Gaudreau family, have made a sizable difference in the lives of so many in the Philadelphia area. To learning and growing to love the sport of hockey. They will always be cherished members of the Flyers community. Stay with NBC 10 on air and online as we continue to follow this story. Tonight at 7, we will take a deeper look at the lasting legacy these brothers will leave behind.
There was a moment of silence in Philadelphia today for the deaths of the NHL star and his brother killed riding their bikes. It came before a call to action to make the city of Philadelphia safer for cyclists. The mayor's administration addressed concerns and calls for change when it comes to increased safety. NBC 10's Lauren Make reports.
City officials responded directly today to a petition demanding changes to make bicycle lanes safer in the city. But there was still some frustration today among riders about what's getting done and how quickly.
Where's my helmet?
Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker today joining bicyclists for a ride around City Hall as her administration promises efforts to make streets safer.
We clearly need to reduce fatal and serious injury crashes in every neighborhood across Philadelphia.
The Parker administration today responding to demands from a petition circulated after the death of a doctor hit and killed while riding her bike in Rittenhouse Square. Today, the managing director responding to each of the demands, including bike lanes protected by concrete barriers.
Otis, led by Mike Carroll and his team, has developed proposals they are discussing with City Council, the coalition, and most importantly, members of our communities to increase safety on the Spruce and Pine Street bike lanes.
The next steps, though, do involve some community conversation and prompted some frustration in the crowd from those who are looking for more immediate change.
We intend to replace the no parking signage with no stopping signage along the Spruce and Pine corridor. This replacement process requires community engagement, which will happen simultaneously with the community.
Mayor Parker back at the mic, acknowledging the pushback and imploring them to give the process and her a chance.
It's important that we ensure that they have their voices heard, and that's why, even if you've had meetings in the past, I just want to say this for the record, give your mayor a chance. Give your mayor a chance, okay?
Teacher David Talone is among those looking for some change and safer streets.
I think we have a lot of work to do. It's really unsafe.
He's hoping for action soon.
I ride this bike every day to work, and I'm scared for my life most days. In terms of this, it's a dialogue. We're getting started, but we need to see concrete action.
The managing director today mentioned working with City Council. Now, they have been on a break for the summer, but meetings start up again next week. In Center City, I'm Lauren Make, NBC 10 News.
Turning now to our Labor Day weekend weather, a live look at Center City and the Jersey Shore this evening. What's in store for the weekend where you're heading?
Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Michelle Rotella with our all-important holiday forecast.
Okay, well, Monday's just all-star day for everyone all around, but between now and then it gets a little iffy depending on where you are. But I think that you are not dealing with a washout. You're just dealing with the chance of some showers like we've seen over the past couple of days. You can see some fog settling in around the tree line there up at Mount Pocono. Take a look at that. They'll be dealing with fog and battling that throughout the day on Saturday. Elsewhere, I think you'll be dealing with some sunshine. It will be nice to get that back, but you can see the wide picture here showing you lots of cloud coverage still across central PA, stretching all the way across the rest of the state east, across parts of pretty much all of New Jersey, down to Delaware, Maryland as well. And then a cold front very far out to the northwest that's draping across Michigan. That's producing some shower activity and even some thunderstorms out ahead of it. As we get more into Saturday night, we will see some of that across our area. It's going to take some time to get here, though, and it's just cloudy and also still a little humid out there, but it doesn't feel that bad. It feels much cooler than what it did the past couple of days. A little bit of a wind, starting to see it kick up a little bit. AC Marina, 18 miles per hour, keeping things cool in the low 70s. You can see temperatures 68 for Allentown and 59 for the Poconos, Reading at 72. Some low to mid 60s for your dew points. So again, you know, it's not comfortable, but it's not too humid out there. Maybe a spotty shower for the rest of this evening. Cloudy skies. Phillies forecast that first pitch is at 6:40. Cloudy skies, and it will be cool through much of the game. Maybe a sprinkle, but again, I think you stay dry, cloudy, and cool. We'll talk more about the extended forecast coming up in just a few. Jackie.
All right, Michelle. The man who escaped from the Chester County prison, then led police on a 2-week manhunt across the area, has pleaded guilty. Danilo Cavalcanti appeared in court today. He entered guilty pleas on escape and burglary charges. During his time on the run, he broke into homes and stole food, clothes, and other items. After today's plea, he was immediately sentenced to serve an extra 15 to 30 years behind bars. That's in addition to the life sentence he is serving for killing his ex-girlfriend.
The second suspect has been charged in a mass shooting in Allentown, and police have released new video of the chaotic scene that played out last weekend. Body cam footage released today shows an officer chasing a suspect who appears to have a weapon while running through a parking lot along North 7th Street on Sunday night. It happened a few blocks from the city's annual Dominican Festival. Police now say 6 people were hurt in the shooting, including one of the gunmen. Police say 2 men were involved in a fight when they pulled out guns and started shooting. Today, the district attorney announced the second arrest, a 28-year-old man from Allentown now facing charges. Police previously arrested a 21-year-old from the city for his role in the shooting. The DA also says 2 Allentown police officers fired 12 rounds during the incident and that no one was hurt from their gunfire. The investigation is ongoing.
2 New Jersey residents from our area have now died from the West Nile virus. They were both older adults from Cumberland and Mercer counties. 4 other people are recovering. West Nile is a virus most often acquired from a mosquito bite.
Straight ahead tonight, the Eagles are ready to rock in Brazil. The Birds revealed the uniforms for the opening night.
Lots of clouds, lots of people on the boardwalk, but not a lot of complaints for this start of Labor Day weekend. I'm Ted Greenberg, live in Ocean City with the story coming up.
This is NBC 10 News.
It is Labor Day weekend, the unofficial last weekend of summer.
The Jersey Shore expected to be crowded from Atlantic City and Ocean City to Cape May. NBC 10 Jersey Shore Bureau reporter Ted Greenberg spending the Friday night in Ocean City. Lucky you, Ted.
I am, Fred and Jackie, that's for sure, and I've got lots of people out here on the boardwalk. It is cloudy, it is cool, not exactly a picture-perfect start for the last big weekend of summer, but there's still no shortage of people, as you can see. On the boards and the beach in Ocean City, cool, cloudy weather did not keep folks away for the beginning of the holiday weekend, marking summer's unofficial end.
I can't believe we're here at Labor Day already. Summer went so quickly, and
we flew in just for this, just to go to Gillian's one last time, go to the beach. It's a little cloudy, but we'll deal.
In Wildwood Crest, only a few hitting the sand. For Evelyn Wilson's 2 granddaughters and others, it was a day for long sleeves.
Very windy and cool. We pictured it a little warmer.
This year, it just seems to be a little off.
Late Friday morning, Kathleen Thompson still had a few unbooked rooms at Granada Ocean Resort, a rarity for Labor Day weekend. She says this summer, fewer people booked far in advance.
They wait for the weather. They want to make sure they're getting good weather. They want to make sure they're getting the best bang for their buck.
Cape May County tourism officials say it was a soft summer, the economy greatly impacting the amount of money people spent.
Embrace the cooler temperatures of fall.
They hope their current marketing campaign will help convince folks to come back in the months ahead.
We're seeing that reservations are on par with last year. And we also know that the time out for people to make reservations has shortened.
Fall not far off as summer's last big weekend gets underway.
A little sad because I feel like we just got started, but this way we can have a little fun anyway for a couple of days.
Hopefully lots of people will have fun this weekend. Tourism officials say it was a crowded summer here at the shore, but many people stayed for fewer days and also spent less money on things like going out to eat. Although you can see that line behind me at Manco and Manco Pizza. Those folks are ready to spend some cash on some boardwalk pizza tonight. Live in Ocean City, I'm Ted Greenberg, NBC 10 News.
Oh, the ham's behind you, Ted.
Yeah, they're loving being in your live shot.
We appreciate it.
Little dancing, all the things.
Thanks, Ted.
Yeah, it's cloudy out there, but no one seems to mind, right?
No, and kids are never fazed by that at all. They just love that.
Have
Rain
fun,
or
be
shine.
kids.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice too. Beach weather for your Saturday, for your Monday. Sunday gets a little iffy for everyone, but we'll get through it, and it's not a complete washout. So let's talk about it. We do have some cloudy skies. It's been overall cooler for today. Definitely cooler than what we had for the midweek. That was the skyline, and just again showing you that we have cloudy skies all across the area, and storm chances will return for our region late Saturday, overnight into Sunday morning. They could linger down the shore, bringing some heavy rain. But for everyone, it is a sunny Labor Day to look forward to on Monday and feeling like fall as we get into next week. So here we go. You look at the wind speeds right now. They've calmed down, especially compared to what I was seeing way earlier today. Atlantic City and at the boardwalk and at the marina, they had some sustained winds of 20 miles per hour. So nice to see that it's come down a little bit, but feels like temperatures are still in the low 70s all across the board, except for Allentown. You could see that feels like temperature around 69 degrees. So this is definitely a cooler feel for this evening. Overall, it is dry tonight, maybe a sprinkle, but it is just going to be cloudy. Dew points are still present in the 60s, so it may still feel just a touch humid out there, but nothing compared to what we've been experiencing throughout the week. Rain chances down still to 20% on Saturday, though we went from 20% to 40 here for Sunday. So it looks like we could see again some of those showers lingering across the region for a little bit of some time throughout the day on Sunday, all due to this decent cold front that's going to move across the area, bringing those opportunities for showers, for thunderstorms. And then we could see a secondary cold front that's really going to just clear the way of clouds, of rain, and knock down just the humidity, especially once you get into Labor Day itself. So let's time out the showers and the thunderstorms. Again, most of your Saturday, you'll get some sunshine. You can see the showers moving in across Berks, Lehigh, Northampton County, stretching into the suburbs, 9, 10 o'clock. So just be mindful that across, I'd say, I-95 points northwest, that's where you could have the opportunity to have a few stronger storms. Here's those heavier showers that are going to be hanging around the shoreline. So, marginal here across parts of South Jersey, but here's the I-95 corridor northwest. You have that level 2 out of 5. And again, you could have some strong gusty winds with a few isolated storms and some locally heavy rainfall. So we can forecast, I would say the showers are sandwiched in between the overnight hours, early morning there on Sunday, could linger down the shore a little bit on Sunday, but itself on Monday, Labor Day, looks great. You have temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. It's mostly sunny. It's not going to feel what it feels right now, just cloudy with temperatures getting to those upper 60s by 11 p.m. Once we get beyond Labor Day, we got to look at the 10-day forecast here, and Tuesday and beyond looks just fantastic. And just throughout the past couple of hours, we had to add the raindrop there for Saturday, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Jackie.
All right, Michelle. Well, the Phillies take on the Braves tonight, but they'll have to do without one of their all-stars. We'll hear from manager Rob Thompson about Alec Boehm's status tonight against Atlanta.
This is Sports Desk, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Switch to Xfinity Mobile. Visit xfinitymobile.com or visit a store today.
Broke his back, ground ball toward third, charging Sosa. He's got it, throws on the run, in time, and the ball game is over.
The Phillies took game 1 of their series against the Braves in comeback fashion last night. Brandon Marsh and Nick Castellanos both with big home runs to help the Phillies get the win. They will go for a second straight win over the Braves in just a few minutes at Citizens Bank Park.
And the Phillies enter play tonight with a 6-game lead over the Braves for first place in the NL East.
Alec Bohm not in the starting lineup tonight. The Phillies cleanup hitter left last night's game after hurting his hand in his first at-bat. Manager Rob Thompson said while Bohm could still be available for tonight's game, Edmundo Sosa will get the start at third base.
Yeah, there's a little inflammation in there, so we're just trying to knock that out. He'll do treatment during the game and see if he's available by the end of it.
The Eagles take on the Packers a week from tonight in the season opener, and today we learned what they'll be wearing in Brazil.
Yeah, the Birds posted this pic on X. For the first time ever, they will go black helmet, black pants, and white jersey with green numbers. The Eagles also named their team captains for the season. Jordan Mailata will wear the C on his jersey for the first time. He'll join Lane Johnson, Jalen Hurts, Brandon Graham, Jake Elliott, Darius Slay, and A.J. Brown, who return as Eagles captains. And A.J. Brown is entering his 3rd season with the Eagles and will once again be expected to play a major role for the team. All reports say Brown and the Eagles have had a good camp, but we haven't seen them in any game action. Brown says he's excited to see what this team is about.
Like, nobody knows how this team's going to play until we play against somebody else, and it's a real game. You know, you want to see how guys react. You don't know how the game's going to get called. You don't know. You know, we got new offensive coordinator, so you just don't know. Yes, we done some great things in camp. That's camp, you know, but they're blowing the whistle. Nobody's getting tackled, stuff like that.
We are just 1 week away from Eagles football. The Birds take Brazil in the regular season opener against the Green Bay Packers in South America. Kickoff is set for next Friday at 8 o'clock. You can watch it all right here on NBC 10 or streaming on Peacock. NBC 10 is the official station of the Philadelphia Eagles.
He meant so much to so many people, not just from his hockey playing, Neil, but from he's just such a good human being, and it's a tough loss.
That's Flyers announcer Jim Jackson reacting to the tragic death of NHL star and New Jersey native Johnny Gaudreau. He and his brother were both killed while cycling together when a suspected drunk driver hit and killed them in Salem County. We'll have much more on Gaudreau's passing tonight on NBC 10 News at 11. We'll be right back.
This is NBC 10 News.
The performances at the Great Allentown Fair kick off tonight. Country star Brad Paisley will be the first headliner to perform on the fair grandstand. Other big name acts include Pentatonix and comedian Jeff Dunham. The weekend will also offer plenty of rides, games, and food. The fair also features a number of farming, gardening, and homemaking exhibits. It runs through Monday.
And coming up tonight at 7, we'll continue to look at the life of a local hockey star killed in our area. What happened in court and reflection from people who know the player known as Johnny Hockey.
And next on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, a new warning about crypto ATM scams. What to know about the huge increase in those scams that already lost millions of dollars. That's next.